Next up is the Scottish Fiesta Championship, and we have two titles to be decided. We have Kevin White on pole position where he needs to be, and he's got a 20-point advantage in the SWR car over Wayne McCauley, who lines up third. A little bit of a hiccup is Chris Milford in between them there. Championship obviously between Kevin and Wayne, so that's one to focus on. But also in the XR2 class, we have Jim Deans, strangely enough, 20 points ahead of Stephen Gray there. These guys lining up next to each other on the grid, 20 points in it. I'll hand it to Richard for their first race of the day.
Thanks, Joe. Kevin White and Chris Milford on front row, Wayne McCauley and Peter Cruikshank alongside, then Stephen Ward. Jim Dean's pole for the XR2s from Stephen Gray, Barry Farquharson and Gavin Butterworth next from Alec Townley, completing row 5. Row 6, Gordon Haston and Graham Cuthbert, then David Taylor and Robert Kerr completing the grid for our final weekend of racing here in the Scottish Fiesta Championship. Light sequence well underway. Kevin White looking to wrap up the championship here if possible, and away we go. Jim Deans in red gets away well too in the XR2s. Deans is looking to secure the XR2 championship. He needs 2 podia this weekend, but White starts well. Milford second, Wayne McCauley is third. The leading XR2 is the championship leader, Jim Deans. Barry Farquharson in black challenging for second in the XRs, but on the inside line goes Stephen Gray. Like Wayne McCauley, a double champion in his class. Wayne McCauley was triple champion. Wayne was the last XR2 champion before Stephen Gray, and they've all got away well with Kevin White, the race leader. White and McCauley tied on race wins so far, 6 wins apiece. Chris Milford has 2. Milford in second place. So those three have been very evenly matched. Milford joining the championship in July. Out of the hairpin for the first time. Milford not too far away from challenging for the lead. Wayne McCauley is there in third place. Peter Cruikshank is fourth at the moment. Jim Dean's in fifth from Stephen Gray. Stephen Ward will, I think, probably try and find his feet and get back amongst and up past the leading 2 XR2 drivers. But here's Wayne McCauley in third place at the moment. Chris Milford challenging hard, a little bit wild over the curbs there for Milford. Rides to the curb, goes very wide indeed, loses momentum. Wayne McCauley set to pounce here, and McCauley goes through. And that's actually a very significant move for McCauley, because he was 9 points down. I think if he finishes in third place with White winning the race, I think that means championship over for McCauley. But he's got into second. White looking a little bit rattled there and going through the dirt. So Wayne McCauley up to second. This, by my maths, taking the championship to the last race of the year. Stephen Ward making progress in the black and green ST, is now past the blue car of Stephen Gray and chasing Jim Deans. He should get a good run out of the hairpin, maybe nip past, and then he'll get a clear view of the orange and black machine of Peter Cruikshank. And indeed Ward goes through on the inside line. More significantly, Stephen Gray's got a clear run now, clear vision of Jim Deans ahead of him. Barry Farquharson in black is still there in third. Gavin Butterworth running fourth in the white XR2. So nice neat overtake there from Stephen Ward from Coles Norton. He's had 5 podia so far this year, Stephen, and a little bit away from that at the moment, but he'll be pleased to have recovered ahead of these 2 XR2s. Jim Deans, just a brace of podia needed to secure the championship, and at the moment outscoring. He'll get the gap out to 25 points in this one. So if he non-finishes race 2, given the current scenario, Jim Deans, it will come down to the race wins. And Stephen Gray has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 race wins. Jim Deans has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so it's going to be tight, isn't it, on race wins? This potentially will be a 6, and it will be 7, won't it, if he non-finishes in the next race. And Stephen Gray, so Stephen Gray basically is going to need at the moment a non-finish by Jim Deans in race 2 and a win in order to secure the championship. Wayne McCauley in second position then, still at the moment fending off Chris Milford. Gap seesawing a little bit between the two. McCauley really needs to try and break the toe and close down on Kevin White. White's got the fastest lap of the race, bringing through the form that he had in qualifying. So White on his way to extend the championship lead out. That's David Taylor pulling over on the apex of Clark and allowing the lead trio to go through. David not wanting to interfere with the championship battle. Wayne McCauley still chasing then. Here's the view from Wayne in second position. Goes down into the hairpin. Kevin White then is going to rack up another win here and extend the championship lead. By my maths, it's an 18-point lead, 308 points to McCauley 290, which will take him on to a 23-point lead. Not quite enough to take the championship title here. All he'll need to do is finish in race 2 to claim the title, and I think we've probably got to say the same of Jim Deans, who is here. And Deans is doing a super job out front. He doesn't need to win this race, Jim Deans. All he needs to do is finish both races this weekend and he will be crowned champion. But it looks like he's going for the race win, because the posture of the car is very much defensive. Down Duffus, into Leslie's. Watch the red car. He'll go tight here. Look at that, on the brakes, and takes the defensive line into Scotsman Corner. Now this is, of course, compromising his race speed. Stephen Gray is there in second place. They've broken clear of the 18 car Barry Farquharson, but if these two engage in battle long enough, Farquharson will close up. Here they come again, and Stephen Gray all over the back now, putting in a serious challenge. Inside line at Hislops, that converts to the outside down at the hairpin. Is Gray going to stay on the outside, or maybe have a little look on the inside line? There's no intention, I don't think, to flick down the inside on this occasion, so he might go for the cut back on the exit of the hairpin. Here they come, they're closing down on David Taylor as well. And the championship leader dives to the inside line. Deans grabs the inside. That could possibly set him up to hold the inside going into Scotsman Corner. And Gray is now on the outside. He'll be hoping to try and get a sweep. I said Farquharson was closing in, and he is closing in third place. So we need to keep our eyes on the 18 car. Farquharson set to secure the newcomers title here. Title that Jim Deans won 2 years ago. Josh Orr was last year's champion, and it's three-way for the lead now. So Jim Deans in front, Stephen Gray second, Barry Farquharson in third. Through the Arnold Clark chicane we go, and I've got to say Deans is looking a bit rattled, and Stephen Gray's looking at the inside line. Has he got a wheel on the grass possibly there? Looks at the inside, there isn't room, backs off. Jim Deans is off and on the gravel. Deans is off. That could completely change the complexion of the championship. Stephen Gray's through. I think that Deans had enough momentum. Yes, he did have momentum to go through the gravel, but he's down in third place, and Barry Farquharson challenging for the lead now. This is all going to be about literally where they finish. Barry Farquharson here wants the outright 25 points. They're on to the last lap. Flash of the lights for Gordon Haston from the number 7 car, the race leader Kevin White. Just trying to do the maths. If Barry Farquharson wins this race, it means that Stephen Gray will only pull 4 points back on Jim Deans, who's still there, but it's Stephen Gray still out front. They're closing down on David Taylor, and Barry Farquharson's having a look, but Kevin White's a job to know where to look, really, because we've got the XR2 battle, the ST battle going on as well through the traffic. Kevin White was obviously spooked a little bit by the traffic to flash his lights. The Marshall's blue flags normally do the job. Graham Cuthbert has let them through as well. Kevin White's on his way to a win here, and this is not going to be confirmation of the championship, but in tennis terms it will be advantage White as we head into the last race of the year. Wayne McCauley has had a super race. He's running in second place, and he's done all that he can to take the championship to the last race of the year. Chris Milford's following him, but here is White. White takes the win. McCauley second, Milford in third place. Fourth position will go to the orange car of Peter Cruikshank. There comes Peter. Good drive by Stephen Ward to close in on Peter Cruikshank in the closing laps. Well, the ST's finished that way. White, McCauley, Milford and Cruikshank from Ward. Stephen Gray winning the XR2 subsequent to the meeting, an exclusion for Barry Farquharson. So Jim Dean second, Gavin Butterworth next from Graham Cuthbert, Gordon Haston, Robert Kurt, David Taylor and Alec Townley in 13th place, fastest lap overall. The race to Kevin White.
Kevin White, nearly there. Nervous weekend, horrible day, feel sick and all the rest of it, but you're nearly there now.
Yeah, I knew if I could get a good result in the first race, I would kind of take the pressure off a little bit, and we just need to hopefully just keep it clean in the second race and bring it home.
It was looking good lined up on the grid, having Milford, who's showing a good turn of speed, lining up alongside you, potentially taking points off of Wayne, but Wayne had different ideas.
Yeah, I was speaking to Milford before the race, and he said he was going to win that race, but obviously it didn't work out for him. So, but no, it was good. Obviously they were battling. I could get away and obviously keep a wee gap. And it was a good race.
We think 23 points, so it would take a DNF and a win from Wayne to go the other way now. But you've got a nervous couple of hours.
I think it's actually 25 points. So I just need to finish the race.
25 points would go back to wins then.
Basically, yeah. But then I think we'd be equal in wins. If he wins the next race, we'd be equal.
It's really tight. It's going to be hard to lose it. Good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Wayne, feeding me false information, made me look stupid there in front of Kev with the points. I was right, 20 points, so now it's 25 points. You need to win overall to win on the countback.
So
and he needs to not finish.
Yeah, there'll not be much chance of that. That car's been 100% every season it's been in the racing, so all I can do is go out there and win and just have second in the championship, I would imagine.
Mathematically it's possible, but it's at like the slimmest chances now.
Yeah, mathematically it's possible, but I'm not got my hopes held for it, but I mean we'll still give it a good go and see what the turnout is.
You just need to go out there and go for the win.
Yeah, that's hopefully what we'll do.
Good luck.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Stephen, well done first of all on the XR2 win. It was 20 points at the start. Jim coming in third place. Mathematics are bad for me.
Yeah, a bit bad for me as well, but I think I worked out before I came here that I think even if he gets 2/3 he'll still win it by a couple of points, so I really need him. Hopefully, you don't want to wish bad on him, but hopefully Gavin, who's behind him, maybe finishes fourth, but it's going to be tight, a bit like Wayne,
All you can do is win, which you've done so far. It wasn't a pole position in the class, but you've taken the win.
It was close, yeah, and there was only a couple of laps before the end till I got in front as well, so hopefully try and stay in front the next one, but the guys behind me are quick off the line, so we'll see what I can do.
Go for that win.
Thank you, cheers.
The final round of the Scottish Fiestas is about to head out on track, and it's championship deciding time. Kevin White, we think from our rough maths, none of us can work it out exactly, but we think he just needs to finish. If he finishes the race and scores any points, he will stop Wayne McCauley from taking his fourth championship in a row. In the Fiesta side of things, again, Stephen Gray still chasing Jim Deans for the title. Stephen needs Jim to completely non-score in order to take this championship. I'll hand it to Richard, and he'll take us through their final race of the year.
White and McCauley on the front row. Row 2, Milford and Cruikshank from Ward and Gray. Barry Farquharson and Jim Deans on row 4. And then Gavin Butterworth and Graham Cuthbert. Gordon Haston with Robert Kerr. David Taylor and Alec Townley completing our grid. So Kevin White basically just needs to finish this race in order to win the championship. Same too for Jim Deans in the red XR2. And we'll get on to other scenarios if either of them retire from the race. The lights are on, the sun is shining, we've got blue skies, and we've got Scottish Fiesta Championship racing underway here at Knockhill. Great start from pole position by Kevin White, but Wayne McCauley is looking for the lead. McCauley sweeps round the outside majestically into lead position. And Stephen Gray is leading the XR2s. Gray leading from Farquharson. Third place is the championship leader. A little bit of a wild line there from Gavin Butterworth in fourth place behind Jim Deans. Graham Cuthbert is next up. There's Chris Milford in 51, who's in third place again. Stephen Ward makes a better start of it this time. Might be able to have a battle with Peter Cruikshank in this one. But Wayne McCauley is the race leader, and Kevin White, all Kevin White needs to do is track him. And been saying that a lot in championships over the last few weeks, commentating on many championships that have gone down to the last race of the year, where we've had drivers having to just track other drivers in order to win titles, and that's literally all that Kevin White has to do. It's all that Jim Deans has to do as well. The black car of Barry Farquharson, incidentally, wrapped up the Newcomers Championship in race number 1. Alec Townley, I think, will be second in the Newcomers for the XR2s. Wayne McCauley out front and looking to grab a win. This is all McCauley can do. There aren't any points for fastest lap, although no doubt he will want one of those as well. But McCauley here, if they finish like this, they'll basically match each other on points for the meeting, and it will take McCauley on to 335 and Kevin White on to a final total of 353, which is an 18-point gap. So I think Joe's original maths were actually correct there, because it goes back to the same gap that we had at the start of the meeting. Back with the XR2s. Barry Farquharson is in second. Jim Deans is third. Great race from Deans, I thought. Real character in race number 1. Didn't need to battle for the lead, but he did do it all the same. And that's the racer, isn't it? You've really got to love your racing to do that. He's in with the shout of this championship as we look back. There's Alec Townley in 57, runner-up in the newcomers. David Taylor in 28, trying to chase him down. Graham Cuthbert up ahead of them. Meanwhile, we go back to Barry Farquharson, second in this race. Jim Dean's chasing hard. Gavin Butterworth, the Inverness-based racer in white, is there as well. Chase their way up the hill. Challenge on here from Jim Deans to look for second position. Deans is side by side. No, not quite with Barry Farquharson, although is he getting more momentum now? He's got the inside line coming down into Duffus, and Deans takes second position. That was so close. Look at Butterworth flying down through Duffus and challenging for third place. Barry Farquharson, though, is holding on to that at the moment. Wonderful racing from the XR2s, these superb little cars that have given us so much entertainment here at Knockhill over the years, and they still continue to do so. Championship going right the way to the wire. The race leader Stephen Gray, again, like Wayne McCauley, doing all that he can. It's amazing how we've got the story mirrored between the STs and the XR2s. Double champions, defending champions, both leading the last race of the year, but with their main protagonists immediately behind them and just needing to take a finish to get the championship done. Farquharson still there at the moment in third place. Gavin Butterworth is all over the back of him, so Gavin's going to have a look up the inside line and maybe do a Jim Dean. Slots back into line. Here, though, is Wayne McCauley, and you can see Kevin White. Now, White doesn't need to chase McCauley, but he's going to, because he's a racer, and that's exactly what we want to see. McCauley will probably trace back the championship woes to the one meeting that really stands out for me, results-wise, was Alton Parker retirement in race number 1, 5th place in race 2 at Alton. Kevin White has been mega consistent. He's won as many races. He's won one more race so far than McCauley. If McCauley wins this one, they'll tie. But he hasn't had a non-finish. And you have to have a championship year can rely on that little bit of luck where you get through the whole season. You've got to drive, but you need to have fortune in your favour to take a championship. Alec Townley looks to the outside line here of Graham Cuthbert. Townley, runner-up in this year's Newcomers Championship. The Aberdonian goes up the inside. David Taylor in close proximity as well in black and orange. Here they come up across the line. Great race between the XR2s, and we'll see whether Cuthbert could grab the initiative here. Townley in red on the inside line. He's going to hold the advantage going down into Duffus, into Leslie's now. Clear advantage, and David Taylor's coming up to have a nibble away at Cuthbert as well. A little bit of a lock-up, slots the car down the inside. Cuthbert goes wide. David Taylor makes the position up. Nice piece of racing between those three drivers, and a good move by Taylor on the inside line. There's the man immediately ahead of them, Alec Townley. Townley well clear now of David Taylor, and down behind them in the distance we've got Gordon Haston and Robert Kerr. See Haston in yellow just at the back of shot as these guys continue on their way. Robert Kerr in the 44 car, and not that much space really between these 5 XR2 drivers. Cuthbert's going to try and repay the favour here, and he's looking at a tight line out of the hairpin and up the hill, challenging David Taylor back for 10th position. So remember, we've got the 5 STs out front. The STs, in fact, as if on cue, join us with Wayne McCauley still out front. Kevin White in second. Third place is still Chris Milford. We didn't get the battle that we were anticipating between Cruikshank and Ward. Gordon Haston and Robert Kerr are here. Not a battle between these two at the moment. Haston with 5 or 6 car lengths clear. Good selection of newcomers in the championship this year. Alec Townley, Graham Cuthbert, David Taylor in the newcomers championship as well, with Gordon Haston, Robert Kerr, and this year's newcomers titleist Barry Farquharson. So very much still a category, despite being for the older cars, one that will nurture new racing talent here in Scotland in saloon car racing. Wayne Macaulay it is, though, who is leading the race into the back marker territory. Gordon Haston goes wide, Macaulay is through. Not under that much pressure at the moment from Kevin White in this last race of the year. Macaulay, I know, will want to go out with the win. White doing enough in second place at the moment to secure the championship. Last lap board goes out. Chris Milford in third place still. So Macaulay flashing his lights just to let everybody know that he's coming. He's still concerned about grabbing that win. He'll know that the 7 car in his mirrors means that he's going to lose the championship. So the name Macaulay is not going to appear on a Scottish trophy for the first time in 4 seasons. It's going to be Kevin White, although we've still got the best part of a lap to go, I suppose. And backmarker traffic looming. They're not going to cause any problems. Macaulay's going to go out with a win. Kevin White is going to be second. Again, David Taylor does what he did in race number 1. Very respectful stuff from Taylor, putting to the inside line, allowing the championship runners through and pass safely. So Macaulay, who's got the fastest lap in this one as well, a 61.9, 61.5, the best lap by Kevin White in race number 1. So not quite on that pace, as White closes in through the hairpin for the last time, and Wayne Macaulay goes up the hill to win the race, but Kevin White will be crowned champion. There's the checkered flag. Macaulay wins the race. White wins the championship. Our congratulations to him. And now we've got to look for the XR2s. I can tell you that Jim Deans is still running in the XR2s. He's going to be crowned XR2 champion. Across the line goes Stephen Ward in 5th place. And we look back at the leading XR2s. It is Stephen Gray again who takes the win. So Gray takes the win, and our congratulations to XR2 champion Jim Deans, who finishes in 2nd position in class. It's a battle up across the line between Gavin Butterworth and Barry Farquharson. Farquharson again, as we said in race 1, excluded post-meeting, but here's the result. Wayne Macaulay from Kevin White, Chris Milford and Peter Cruikshank, Stephen Ward in 5th, Stephen Gray winning the XR2 race from Jim Deans, the new champion, and then Gavin Butterworth, Alec Townley, Graham Cuthbert, David Taylor, Gordon Haston and Robert Kerr.
Kevin, the weight is lifted. 2016 Scottish ST champion. Well done, finally.
Yeah, it feels good. Obviously, running up last year, my first full year, and had to really take the championship this year, didn't I?
And you stopped weighing. There's not many people that can do that.
Yeah, obviously at the start of the year he was really strong, and halfway through the year we picked the pace a bit, and obviously a new lap record again, and pole positions and race wins, and we took the championship. It's good.
Well done, great to see. Jim, well done. 2016 Scottish XR2 champion, finally.
Yes, finally, exactly. It was close. Took it right to the wire.
You didn't make it easier for yourself. Stephen came on so strong at the end.
He did. Last meeting as well, I got 2/3, which closed the gap a bit, and then the first race I got a 3rd, as you know, and I needed 3rd at least in this race if Steve won.
Well done.
Thank you.